Kyle here from All Media Reviews. Here to do a couple things, one being a calendar update. A couple things because this week, a little weird week, Wednesday, the June 19th is a holiday, so I'm not working that day, but I have some plans I have to do, and then the day after is my birthday, and I'm probably going to, the plan is on my birthday, I want to do is go to this like retro arcade, and then this pizza place that someone I went to high school with runs in Minneapolis. So maybe somewhere else. I don't know. We may see a movie. Do have some things like that, like the Brat Pack. Excuse me, the Brat Pack documentary was put up on Hulu over the weekend. I think it was Thursday or Friday of last week, maybe. And my wife and I have watched a little bit of it. We haven't been able to watch. Been kind of distracted. I've been doing physical therapy and been getting like numbness in my toes a little bit. I'm being diabetic, concerned about stuff like neuropathy, and just I don't know if the therapy is causing it. It was like I had a pinched nerve a few years ago, but this isn't severe. This isn't even painful. It's just a little numbness. But it's doing better today. But that doesn't necessarily mean I don't know. So I'm trying to manage all this stuff, but I have 2 days off, but that doesn't mean I'm not still have time to do all this stuff. But the plan is to do, hopefully, at least 1994. I'm working on that already today. And based on the projection, if I'm doing one a week, which is, it's not even every one a week, but it's pretty close to one a week, probably be the end of the year. I won't finish this whole Albums of the Year series, because there's like 26 left just to get to the 2020s, so I don't know. If I can do more than one in a week at some point. And then I can move on to some other stuff like the movies of the year and that whole Empire year history thing. But there was like something else. I mean, there's some movies I want to review at some point, maybe like the Garfield movie, we see it. But I guess I may as well just get into that. I haven't done a calendar update. New release cancel. Oh, that's the other thing. I've talked about it already once or twice the last few videos. The albums of the year mid-season. My thought process is some people I'm going to do the roundtable with Christian and my friend Alan and Brennan from Death by Unicorn, or maybe one or two more people. Maybe my friend Annie from lives in Denmark, and someone else I've been talking to. The Album of the Year's podcast has a Facebook group, and I just posted my 93 albums of the year video, and someone chimed in saying they might be interested in working together, so it's getting Mark. But yeah, there's music, news, and stuff like that I could go over. But so that's one thing, but that's probably not going to be up till maybe mid-July, because we're just trying to correlate schedules. And then also, if we did it right now, we wouldn't be able to include stuff that's coming up that I'm about to mention in June. So probably mid-July, mid to late July, but I probably will do. Man, this is just troubling. I want to do my own albums of the year list, so I probably will do as film at least. I'll do an albums of the year list, a mid-season list of my own. Probably not that long after that, because of course in the roundtable we're only going to go over probably like 5 and then honorable mentions if we have time. So, and I have 25 to 30, 35 records, including EPs. A lot of stuff I haven't revisited. So, anyway, let's just get into the updates now. So, there's maybe one or two other things I'm not remembering I'll be able to mention after I'm done here. So, some stuff has been announced. One thing is not... Well, it's related to a new release. Coming up, of course, not this week, but next week, is the Warning album, Keep Me Fed. Not misremember. Keep Me Fed on the 28th, a week from Friday. But they just announced today that the day before they're actually going to be performing on Jimmy Kimmel Live. So national American, television, their debut per se. I mean, they were on like MTV, like the VMAs, but like on the stream, not the actual TV broadcast. I'm not sure. but yeah, I think this is their first talk show in America, and so it's a pretty big deal. They play like one or two songs. You know, I mean, there a lot of bands have gone there and not that much made out of it. Dredge was on there. I think Mute Math was on one or two of the shows. Local natives, bands that I like have been on there. Warpaint got on there. Phenomena ended up going on. I want to say like Fallon. I can't remember, but you know, there's going to be a lot of people that have never heard of them that will get the chance to see them, and I think the new album that comes out a week from Friday. Of course, this Friday, Pepe Deluxe follows this sucker up. You know, I just did my review last week, and I don't know if I'll be able to squeeze that video in on Friday or not. Cause, like, listen to it 2 or 3 times, and cause they put out a new video today, a new song today. Paddle. I posted it on Twitter. Paddle something. Paddle Wind, something like that, or Saddle Wind. I think it's Saddle Wind. It's a video. It's very Western sounding, and I think it's called Saddle Wind. So, but yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to review the whole sequence. That was the whole plan to, like, this the week of the album comes out, Comic Sonics, and when I get my vinyl, you know, I pre-ordered that. I have pre-ordered the Ben Sinister album. Go backtrack. Mostly Great Things on vinyl, and it said release in June, so it could be coming any day now here. In fact, there's a package expected today, so I'll have to do a video or show that. But the other, so those are the 2 big releases in June that are scheduled. I think that's about it. Kaipa has an album called Samargrin. I cannot pronounce that word, but you know, I'd like to spend more time with Kaipa, but I never have. You know, this week though, that I know that Brennan's mentioned them, the Plaisir, kind of a metal band. They have an album called The Center That Cannot Hold. Portrait, the host, is coming out too, and then Alceste's Le Chant de Rar, or whatever, I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it's really Pepe Deluxe and the Warning the rest of this month, this week and next week. So then the week after, I don't know if it's actually on Friday. I don't think it is. It's on like the third is a Wednesday. I think it's Monday. The following Monday, Christian Nesmith and Cersei Link release Arcana, another prog album. The last album was a prog album they released a couple years ago, you know, Cosmologica. So, looking forward to it. This was just announced last week. Vincent, not Danny, Vincent Kavanaugh, formerly of Anathema, has a new band called The Radicant, and they put out a new single last week, and the EP comes out on July 12th called We Ascend, and they're expected to release a full-length album in 2024, so kind of reminds me of you could say the last couple of Anathema records in some ways, but maybe it's going to be a little more electronic, a little more ambient, but then all I have is Deep Purple's 1 and Pat Metheny's Moondial, the 19th and the 26th. So, I mean, I've mentioned those. But, okay, so another one that got released, announced rather last week, the second new single from Cloud Cult was put up. Where is it? I guess I could pull my... The second new single from Cloud Cult was put up. It's called As Beautiful as It Hurts? Yeah. But then the new album's called Alchemy Creek, and that is scheduled to be released on August 8th. I think that's a Friday, but I'm not. So a lot of these independent releases, they're releasing stuff to the Patreon early and everything, and it is coming out on environmentally friendly, like recycled vinyl, in effect. The second record, their last album didn't come out on vinyl or CD, I don't think, Metamorphosis, but. No, that's actually a Thursday, so interesting. I wonder if there's a pre-order going to be going up soon for that. I haven't seen it, but I should. I mean, the people on the Patreon, which I'm not on, probably have seen it, but... I don't know if I mentioned this, but, you know, I mean, you have stuff like Tim Bonus of, you know, the album years and No Man and everything like that. He has a solo album called Powder Dry. No Man I barely have been that into, so I don't know how much interest I have in that, but it's good he's put out an album. Johnny Anderson and the Band Geeks, an album called True. Now, the Johnny Anderson Songs of Zamra and Son of Elias. I don't know what this. I mean, this is an ongoing thing with Johnny. He'll release one thing and he's got 5 other things that he's talked about. But that tour's coming here. I still don't know if I'm gonna go. I kind of doubt it, unfortunately. I just bought tickets. Spent $150 for the wife and I to go see America, and I'm more of an America fan. I want to see them at least once. I'm not going to Joe Jackson probably. I didn't go to Dada last week, so I mean, stuff costs money, and I don't have that much disposable income, unfortunately, to go to every tour I'd like to. Of course, my cat wants to be involved here. Kaja, all right. I need to move this to the side if you're going to be on my lap, Kaji. Then the other one that was announced I think it was last week, Meer, M-E-E-R, the band that I know a lot of people talked about a few years ago. Their new album, Wheels Within Wheels, is coming out. I can't remember if they're from Norway, maybe? Somewhere in Scandinavia, anyway. But I grew to like that last record somewhat, so I'm looking forward to that. And so another one that's that month is the 30th. So that's on the 23rd of August. The 30th. So the same day as John Anderson, actually. King Crow has an album called Hopium and Dark Tranquility, End Time Signals. Love Bites, EP2 on the 28th of August. But Giannis and the Yaw, that's a big deal because that's Giannis from Foals, his project with the late Tony Allen. Lagos, Paris, London featuring Tony Allen's coming out on the 30th of August. So David Gilmour, Luck and Strange comes out September 6th, and then Miles Kennedy on October 11th is scheduled to release The Art of Letting Go, but I'm not really. I want to listen to the David Gilmour album, not with massive expectations, but I'm just a big David Gilmour and Pink Floyd fan, so I'll listen to it. So the other stuff that has been announced, some of this I haven't done research on. I mean, more on Police keep on posting stuff, but Brian Scary, The House That Time Forgot. These are all sort of titles. Following up again, The Chilling Alpine Adventure. Childish Japes featuring Joanna Tears. They put out a single a couple weeks ago, so it's been like a month since I've done one of these. But so that album's going to come out. It's just a matter they need to figure out. I guess it's sometime in the fall, but I don't know. Could be sooner. Akafiza, The Fell Down the Veil. It's expected in October. Anthology 1, 3, and 5. I don't know why the 2 and 4 they released previously, but it's been like 10 years or more. So, all right. One big one that there's a couple big ones that have been announced in the last couple weeks. One of them is Ours. They're going to be releasing a song they played live and with a collection of songs. The deal is, and everyone follows Ours, but being that I love Ours and followed them pretty closely for the last 17, 18, almost 20 years now. They play live. Jimmy's played, between himself and the band, have played lots of songs that eventually ended up on albums, but a whole slew of songs that didn't end up on albums. That some of them were recorded, probably especially when they were recording the Mercy record. There was a lot of songs that were still talked about likely. One of them is Mechanical Lovers. That's my number one choice. I really hope that comes out. They released Worst Things Beautiful. Worst Things Beautiful and Mechanical Lovers were both like huge songs in the mid-2000s for him to play live. Worst Things Beautiful ended up on Mercy, and Mechanical Lovers did not. But you could also say Willing. Willing was another one, and that ended up on Mercy. But this is other ones. Like at one point it was called Shoot the One in the Middle. Now it got changed to Wish for None. That song. But Autumn. If you're an Ours fan and you've seen them live, you go back at least, with different band members, there'll be a lot of songs to look forward to on this collection. So it's probably coming out, I don't know, maybe in the fall. But Autumn maybe he's going to call it Autumn. So that would be fitting. But so the other one that just got announced, literally, the album part got announced, I want to say within the last month, which is they have an album they're working on. They're doing some tour dates. It's Pure Reason Revolution. And they're putting out a new song on Friday. In some ways, I'd like to wait to do this video on Friday to announce if they announce the title of the album, maybe. But the song title is coming out on Friday. They're the first single. I don't know if it's going to be a video too. Might be. It's called Dig Till You Die. John Courtney was posted a little video talking about the perspective, like where the inspiration on that title came from. They knew someone I can't remember the story now. Shoot, they knew someone in America who it's like being kicked out of their property or something like that. I forget. I'd have to rewatch it. But anyway, it's an interesting title, and I'm looking forward to this. The mystery still about Chloe Alper's role on this is still not fully clear. I thought I read, Jane's put out a record, and she's been touring with James and stuff like that, and they're on great terms. As far as I know, she's still an official member of the band. She just doesn't have the time to tour. It's a little like Brian Wilson with the Beach Boys, but she's touring with a different band. So that's the other big one, and hopefully we'll get more details on the title and everything like that in a release date. It's going to be sometime in September, though, but that single comes out this Friday, June 21st. But, Toe Hider, of course, there's still more EPs coming. They put out an EP a couple weeks ago again. There's some other stuff that I've seen recently. I'm just going to kind of scan through this. Stuff that's coming besides the Radicant, Steven Wilson and the Avalanches, of course. I've been meaning to do a video on them, but I gotta finish Pepe Deluxe first and then figure out the time. The Red Paintings, Anthems for Unwanted Wars. There's been fans that have heard it, supposedly. There's some video footage, but there's no details. That thing's been many years in the waiting and the making, but the Tea Party also put something... Shoot, I need to edit this. The Tea Party, there was a quote about them just last week, I think it was. I was talking about some of the albums in the Albums of the Year list. Where is it? The Tea Party. There's probably going to be something from the Tea Party. It might be an EP or it might be a full length. Where is it? Portrait, King Crow. Maybe I didn't put any information on this. All I know is there's something probably coming from the Tea Party. We knew about that, but it feels a little more official. Let's see here. First the pre-ordered vinyls. Vinyl. I mean, Dream Theater's new album's probably going to come out this fall because they're touring. Their belief is they're going to have the album out when they do this tour dates in October. Let me see if I can pull up the actual quote from the Tea Party. It was, very, very new material. Hardcore fans rejoice. We're back, baby. Yeah, this was on June 10th. So, yeah. Anyway, so I think that's the gist of it. Again, I mean, it always feels like it's uneven with these these calendar updates. The one thing I can mention also, of course, is when you get to the end of June, I'm going to be doing a July anniversary calendar video. I need to do a little more research, but the list I made when I made the list, like beginning of the year, late last year, is pretty thin. There's not a lot, so it's either going to be a very brief video or I need to do more research. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff that I'm sure. Let me just go on the Discord just to verify that I'm not. I'll come up with something that I like totally missed the boat on. No. Protest the Heroes doing a tour again. That's not a new album. They're doing an anniversary of Volition tour. Cruise to the Edge stuff, of course, is being announced. Some of this stuff when we do our mid-season years, I didn't talk about Sound and Shape's album either. Sound and Shape had an album that came out that a lot of people liked. And like In Vain, I got their vinyl. Heavy Debriefings did an interview with those guys. I haven't finished watching it, but it's great to see that some of the stuff that's come out since the last calendar update. Of course, Darren King's album, the solo album, Temporal, and the Brock Project record. I mean, I'll be talking about this on my mid-season list, of course. The Brock Project's new album is good. It's been well received. This band Sycophant that now Scott from the Prog Corner did a stream about, did a review rather about today. And a lot of other people have talked about there's 6 or 7 channels. I need to still check out. I haven't heard it, but TWRP Digital Nightmares. One release that I'm definitely going to be talking about. There's a good chance we'll be talking about in the mid-season stuff is this band Ugly, and it's really an EP. I guess it's an EP, but it feels like a mini album. It's called Twice Around the Sun. I don't know if they're from Brixton, the Brixton era exactly, but there's one comparison. I mean, when I first heard about it, it was like a month ago. Lorenzo from Alt Prog Core compared it to a few bands, one being Gentle Giant and another being, who was it? Not Othello, but he compared it to Black Country New Road, and there's other people compared it to Black Country New Road. Really only one track on there, but the rest of it, I think that the part on that one track is the worst part of the record. But yeah, I didn't mention that band Adjy, ADJY, who put, I think, an album, like an EP out last year, and they were supposed to like talk about because one of the characters in their this concept series they've done is named June. They're going to put out songs every June, but I don't know if it's going to come out. But I mean, to me, they're great, although they're very, very similar to Anathello. They're like I don't know. You could say other bands like Typhoon have their similarities to Anathello. They have the chamber rock stuff, Family Crest. But this band probably sounds the most like Anathello about any other band I've heard. But they put out an EP last year. People thought they're going to put out another EP this year. I've never done like a video about that. I talked about them briefly on one of my albums of the year, maybe last year's album of the year list. I think the EP was on my list, but so yeah, I think that's about it. Again, hope I can get the Pepe Deluxe in this week in 1994. But again, I don't know because I got stuff I have to do. I have to go to my parents and everything like that. I got things that are going to take up some time, and I'm not going to be by myself. So the other half, the significant other, is going to be around. I don't typically make videos when she's here, but yeah, the Crooked Fiddle Band I've talked about 4 or 5 times, but a lot of people are enjoying whatever I did with it. This album. So I mean, this kind of feels like a mixture of a calendar video and just an albums of the year sort of preview mid-season. But this record, yeah, I mean, the December album, of course, came out last week, as it ever was, so it will be again. I'm liking a fair amount of that. I mean, beyond the epic track, Joan in the Garden. But, yeah, I mean, looking forward to seeing some other mid-season. I mean, a lot of people are doing their mid-season lists. I haven't seen a lot of them, but, you know, I know some of the blogs and channels haven't posted theirs yet. But, you know, it was really, you know, great to see this stuff. So, anyway, enough babbling on for all this, the sort of video blog / calendar update. What are you looking forward to in the next couple months? Love to hear about that. Again, I'll update any information when I get the chance with this stuff, and we'll see you next time. All right, two more things to add. My memory card keeps on running out. I missed on I forgot in the original, the video I just did a little bit ago, for the calendar. One is this, it's Milton Nascimento and Esperanza Spalding. On August 9th, they have an album called Milton and Esperanza. And I'm not sure exactly the styles that are going to be on this, but Milton Nascimento, I'm just doing a little research here, is a Brazilian jazz guitarist, and let's see, I don't know what he does besides that, but he's from Brazil. He's 81 years old, so he's not a young guy. He goes back to the late 60s actually, but I don't know if Latin jazz or traditional jazz, like Afro-Cuban kind of stuff. It's going to be singing in Portuguese, so that's interesting. I'm not necessarily expecting this album. I love Esperanza Spalding. You know, the last record I really got into that she did was 12 Spells from 2018. She's done other records, but I don't keep up as well as I wish I could with her career. But I don't know if this is going to be prog or, you know, even jazz fusion exactly. But, you know, I'm curious about it. It comes out on August 9th. It's one to think about. The trailers look good, so but I might get more into this musician Milton Nascimento as a result of it. I'm not sure. So it's like her and him, you know, Esperanza and Milton, just like you know, Giannis and the late guy that he's working with, Giannis and the Tony Allen, these collaborative albums. But The other one that I should have mentioned, I want to include here still, is Dredge. They posted, I mentioned in the 93 video that I ordered one of their hats, and I think one of the new t-shirts. Their new merch store, they put up some more new merch, and doing the kind of, guesswork is that they're doing a lot of it. They're trying to include more merch to help, fund the cost of recording this new record. But they posted a week ago on Instagram, as we continue to work on our upcoming 6 LP, we take a moment to celebrate the 15th anniversary of our 4th release, The Pariah, The Parrot Delusion, which I did mention in the June anniversaries, June 9th. Anniversary Collector's Vinyl to be released later this year. So there's going to be, and I'm going to want that because the version I've got, everyone got has like a skip on, I don't know which track it is. It might be like Savior or something like that. But, so Dredge, again, Boy Who Cried Wolf, but, I think it's really, it's like some of these other records. It's not a matter of if, it's just when, barring some sort of unforeseen, catastrophe or something like that. Let's hope nothing happens like that. The Dredge will put out another album. I don't know after this album what their future really holds, if this is going to be a pattern, although I notice a lot of times when bands have long gaps or do comeback records, they put out another record soon after. I mean, the Pepe Deluxe album that's coming out this week isn't like the last one wasn't a comeback record exactly, but obviously it was the long gap, and this is now only 3 years later. 3 years? Yeah. So yeah, Dredge and Esperanza Spalding with this Milton Nascimento are 2 others that I gotta keep tabs on and remember. So anyway, looking forward to taking care of everything else this week, but I'd love to hear what you're looking forward to this week and the upcoming few months on the calendar. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.